Morning, Steve.
Morning, Arlen.
Hi, Steve.
Morning, Chris.
Morning, Steve.
Morning, Joel.
How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. How are you?
I'm still sleepy.
Fair enough.
I had my coffee though, so we're good.
There we go. All right. Well, let's see. We'll wait a minute here and just see if anybody is going to join us who wasn't signed in. Okay. All right, cool. Well, let's get started then. So, to start here, guys, I'm going to get you warming up with spotlight, myself there. Okay. I'll get you to start by doing a reverse lunge into a high knee, so it looks like this. Back, and then up and raise the leg. See how I'm trying to get my balance there? Back down, and raise that leg up. Pause for a second at the top. I want you to do 10 per side. After you've done 10 per side, I want you to do 30 arm circles back and 30 arm circles forward. Okay? Meanwhile, I'm going to demo. So, first up here, we've got a 15 rep every minute on the minute, you can see. Okay? So what that means is you're going to be doing 15 reps here each minute for 4 minutes. After those 4 minutes, you're going to switch over to this one. You're going to do 15 reps each minute for 4 minutes here. Then you're going to do 15 reps each minute for 4 minutes here, and finish off with 15 reps each minute for 4 minutes there. So front raises, I've got a band here. I can also use weights. What I'm doing is I'm working my front delts, my upper chest, my triceps a little bit. And what I'm going to do here is raise the band up to parallel and down. Raise the band up to parallel, down. I want your thumbs facing the ceiling. Up to parallel, down, up to parallel, down, and so on. You can also do this with weight, kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever it is, it's fine. Just here like this, up to parallel, back down, up, back down, and so on. All right, from there, guys, I'm gonna get you to do standing crunches like this. Here, cross it over, cross it over. I want you to do 15 per side or 30 reps. Exercise number 2 here on the circuit is going to be rows. So you've got a couple different options here. You can do seating, right? So this is a variation that you can't do with weight for obvious reasons, I suppose. So my legs are straight out, posture's nice and upright, and then I'm going to pull. Here, pull, here, pull, and so on, right? I can also do a bent over variation if I want. So I can step inside the band, hips back, and then now roll it up, roll it up, and so on, right? Of course, this variation I can also do with weights. And then the third variation is one where I can only do it with weights, or well, I suppose you could do it with a band, but it's going to be best done with weights. So here, squeezing my upper back muscles and pull starting my lawnmower, right? The same side that I'm holding the kettlebell on is the leg that's back, right? So if I'm holding the kettlebell in my left hand, my left leg is the one that extends back. From there, guys, I'm going to get you doing, what do I want you to do here? Oh, I'll get you to do these. I want you to do arms up like this, stretch, and then I want you to come back like this. Arms up, stretch, and back up like this here, okay? You should do 10 of those. So next up, you're gonna need maybe a little bit of room for this. I'd say you may need a little bit, say, room to do maybe 3 or 4 steps. So what you're gonna do is walking lunges. So I'm here like this, and I'm gonna get you to step forward, here, forward, here. I'm gonna have to turn around for myself, forward, forward. And so I would get you to do 15 round 1, 15 round 2, and then 15 round 3 or 15 round 4 on just leaves one side each time, right? So step forward with the left leg first on the first round, step with the right leg forward first on the second round, left leg on the third round, and right leg on the fourth round, just so you get your sides even. Lastly, you've got sit-ups. And so you would anchor your feet under some sort of object, right? I won't be, but I'll kind of mimic what I would do. So I imagine I've got the sofa here, and I would anchor my toes underneath the sofa, and then I would do crunches or sit-ups here. So down, here, down, 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 right? I can also do straight leg variation, like this. Or I can add weight to either of those variations. So I'm holding the weight here, up, up, or to the straight leg. Same thing with the weight. Okay. Does the explanation of the kind of the reps make sense to everybody? Jewel says makes sense. Chris Arlen says makes sense. All right. Perfect. Well, we're going to start with front raises here, guys. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So if you're watching the replay and you need any, you have any questions, you need anything answered, you can always email results@belifestrong.ca, or you can message me directly at steven@belifestrong.ca. 15 reps here, guys. Trying to get 15. All right, guys, we got minute number 2 here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Minute number 2, let's go, let's go. So I would like you to have about 15 to 20 seconds rest on average, right? If you end up with a little bit more, a little bit less, that's fine. So I was saying that it's a 15 rep EMOM, but if you find that with the weight you're using or the exercise that you're doing, that you just end up doing it a little bit slower and you need a little bit more time to rest, then just take it down from a 15 rep down to like 12 reps, right? Or 10 reps or 8 reps. I just want you working for about 40, 45 seconds because it's going to get you into that hypertrophy type zone. All right, guys, 10 seconds left here in this minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. No, Joel. We're doing 4 minutes here. We're doing 4 minutes of front raises. Let's go. There we go. Yeah. I like the minivan front raises there, Arlen. All right, guys, we've got our final round here. Front raises in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Final round of front raises. Once you're done your 15 year or whatever rep range you're choosing to do, I'm gonna get you guys switched over to rows. We got 10 seconds, guys. Let's get ready for rows. We're going right away. We're going right away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Rows are next here. Nice work, guys. Ten seconds here. We're going to round number 2. If you're doing the one arm variation, you need to switch to the other side this round. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. A little bit slower, Jewel. Pause the back. Yep. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Much better. So what's the benefit of doing the bent over versus the seated? Seated is just nicer if you have maybe some pre-existing lower back issues, that kind of thing, right? The bent over puts you in a bit more of a, we'll say, vulnerable position for that, for your lower back to be aggravated if you don't, move exactly correctly, or if you even have some existing inflammation. So that's where the seated row. All right, guys, next minute, round 3 here, minute number 3 of rows. Let's go. So that's where the seated band row is nice because you still get that tension, right? And you still get to work your upper back muscles, but it doesn't, it doesn't necessarily aggravate, or doesn't have the tendency to aggravate the lower back as much. The one arm row is nice because it really helps you to focus on your mind muscle connection, and just work on a single side at a time. You can focus on the muscles on one side of your back, right? And kind of you can relate that to how it feels when you row on the other side. So what I do for myself is I make notes to myself. Okay, so it feels a little bit looser, like the pull doesn't happen quite as easily, and the joint just feels maybe a little bit looser on my left side. Let's let's see if we can't pack the shoulder down. Final minute here. Let's see if I can't maybe tighten down my lats to give my shoulder a bit more stability so that I can row with a bit more, I guess, what would be the word? Like, basically, you don't want your shoulder to feel loose. And when I say loose, I'm talking about relative looseness, right? You just might notice when it feels a little bit looser or like you have a little bit less control, right? So if you can double down on packing the shoulder, you might find that you get that tightness that's needed to give you a nice, good, solid pull, right? Think of it sort of like trying to jump off of a base of sand versus a base of concrete. If it's quicksand, you're gonna find it's harder to jump off of and get good height or a good jump. Guys, we're gonna be switching over to walking lunges here in a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Walking lunges. There's a fly here on my box that the computer is sitting on. It's really odd seeing that. I haven't seen really any flies yet this year. All right, guys, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next set. Let's go. So this is again where you might want to assess, right? You might feel like you need to do 15 reps on each of these first 2 minutes because you want to keep your sides balanced, and that's a good thing. I'd say that's awesome. But maybe for the next 2 sets, when you're starting back on your initial leg, you might want to take it down to 12. You might want to take it down to 10. Even 8 maybe. But the main thing is that you have good control when you descend into the lunge, right? You don't want to be easily thrown off balance, or you don't want to be, you don't want to be losing your balance. You don't want to have it feel incredibly uncomfortable. You want to try and control the descent, and you're thinking pillowy cloud of fluffy goodness. All right, guys, number 3 here, let's go. So those are some strategies to help with that. And then, next week you come back and you say, okay, so I did 12 on the second set of 2 minutes. I'm going to try and do 13 per side. And the following week, 14 per side. And the following week, 15 per side. And boom, progressive overload. Three, 2, 1, guys. Last round here of lunges. Let's go, let's go. All right, guys, let's get switched over to the sit-ups here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Sit-ups. Nice, good sit-ups, Jewel. So, just as a reminder, with the sit-ups, you want to be using your abs. So when you sit up, think of it kind of as your next minute. Let's go. Your spine is kind of coming off the floor, sort of increment by increment. You obviously don't want to, that's not the goal, but it's just kind of this approach of I'm kind of coming up, my upper abdominals contract first, right? And then as I continue to flex more down, my lower abdominals get more involved. What can often happen is people will try and yank themselves up. If they have their feet anchored underneath an object, they'll yank themselves up by leveraging from their ankles, right? And they'll kind of crank themselves up. And that ends up in them using their hip flexors a lot as opposed to actually using their core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And so that kind of defeats the purpose, since a lot of people, it can do more harm than good, because if you do them that way, because people already generally have tight hip flexors. So this can really, either if you get lower back pain from having tight hip flexors, it could, exacerbate the problem. So I don't know, just something to be aware of. Guys, we got 10 seconds and then we're in our last round. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Final round here. Once you're done your 15 reps here, I'll get you guys just grabbing some water, taking a short break, and then we're going to switch it up. We're going to do a 50-50 finisher here today, and I'll demo that yet. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is the final set there. Awesome work. Grab some water, guys. So, for our finisher today, we're going to be doing dumbbell or kettlebell swings. I'll show you how to use either one of them. And grave diggers. Woo-hoo. So, if you look at this blue box here in the corner, you can see it says dumbbell or kettlebell swings up here, and it says grave diggers down there. I know, that's doctor's handwriting, or on the level of. And you're going to do 50 of them. So it basically just means you have to do 50 of each. And once you're done, 50 of each, that'd be the end of the finisher. Or I'm also going to be setting a 5-minute time cap. So if you run out of time, you just make a mental note of where you were, and you come back next week, try and beat that. So you could do, you guys you could do, 6 here, and then 14 here, and then 7 here, and then 18 here, and then 19 here, and 3 here. You go back and forth however you want. I would recommend breaking it up into 5 sets of 10 at a time here. That's probably how it's going to work the smoothest. But yeah, it's up to you. So, dumbbell or kettlebell swings. The kettlebell, I'm just going to hold like this. Here, angle this down a bit. Right here. And then I want to drive from my hips, right? So I'm not pulling with my upper back at all. I'm not pulling the weight up with my arms. I'm just here driving from my hips, which creates momentum, which gets the kettlebell swinging, right? If I do this with a dumbbell, all I'm doing is holding a dumbbell like this, right? That's the same thing. Here, up, and so on. So once I would have completed 10 reps there, for my strategy, I would then get down on the floor and I would do 10 reps here. So grave diggers, I'm gonna clasp my hands around the dumbbell, I'm gonna bring it up to my right shoulder, push the weight overhead, back down to my left shoulder, and release. Up to my left shoulder, press up, down to my right shoulder, and release. Up to my right shoulder, up, down to my left shoulder, release. Up to my left shoulder, up overhead, down to my right shoulder, release. And that would have just been 4 reps out of the 10 that I would do, and then back and forth until back and forth between the kettlebell swings and the dumbbell grave diggers until I reached 50 reps. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, good stuff. So we're gonna go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Nice work, Chris Arlen. Good stuff. Hey, Jewel, is there a reason why you're not doing it from your knees? Okay, there we go. Okay, all right, I see. Just wondering. If you have a reason, like, that's cool. I just wasn't sure. All right, guys, we are 2 minutes in.
Sorry, I'm used to using this when I was standing up before.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice work, guys. 2 minutes left here. Final minute here, guys. Nice work. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh man, 15 seconds here, guys. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish out where you're at. We're gonna call it a day. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Grabbing some water, taking a little bit of a break here, guys. If you guys would do me a favor and if you would hop on to our Rise Insiders page, I made a post about like, you know, commercials or advertising or fitness influencers that you either saw on TV back in the day or that you you follow online or you've seen online, and they are selling either a product or a service that seems, you know, it's got extremely wild claims. I'm going to be critiquing or reviewing or, you know, looking at some of the claims that these are making and what they, for one thing, mean, and for another, what they are actually, you know, how realistic that is, and how, you know, if it's, you know, kind of a snake oil salesman pitch kind of thing. So that question is on Rise Insiders. If you would comment with some sort of thing. So for me, right, I was into P90X when I was a lot younger, right? You guys probably know that story. But I did those DVs pretty much religiously for years. And a big thing that the P90X infomercials talked about was something called muscle confusion. So for myself, that's how I'm going to be opening the talk. And so that talk, I believe, is next week, Tuesday. I want to say it's Tuesday. And we're just going to be talking about marketing and advertising and how that, what are some of the buzzwords and things that you should maybe be aware of when you're looking at fitness advertising, and what is, you know, actually fact-based and what is more so an appeal to emotions, or anyways, that kind of thing. I like it. I find it interesting. And yeah, so if you've seen anything that seems gimmicky or even something that seems really good, that's cool too. All right, let's shake it out a bit here, guys. So we'll just do some torso twists or some T twists here. Start. And then from there, we'll take it down. And I'll get you to widen out your stance here a little bit. And we're going to do some arm circles. So hips back and then just make some arm circles here. And other direction. And then other arm. And other direction. And good. Okay, we're going to come down to our hands and knees here. This. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. And then I'm going to get you to sit back. Reach your arms forward like this. And back up. Okay. So from there, we're going to go like this. And I'm going to get you doing a T-spine rotation. So you're going to bring your right leg up. Your left leg's going to be extended. And then now you're going to bring your right leg over like so. And your right arm is going to be extended back. And you're going to take 4 breaths here. That's 3 for me. That's 4. Okay. We're going to do the other side. Left knee up. Right hand is on the outside of the left knee. Here. And good, we'll bring it back. If you bring your heels in close to your butt, what I like to do is I like to grab my backs of my shoes, right? My fingers inside there. And then drive my hips up towards the ceiling. And down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. So this is stretching out your quads. We're gonna go one more time here. These muscles right here. And back down. Okay, lastly here, we're gonna come back up to a seated position. I'll get you to bring one leg back like this, and then this leg's gonna be at 90. So I've got 90 degrees, 90 degrees. And now I'm gonna fold over this hip right here. Good, okay, we're gonna come up We're gonna do the other side. Here, this, like this. Oh yeah. Definitely feeling yesterday's workout. And back. All right. Thanks for coming out, guys. Do appreciate your time. If you would check out my Rise Insiders post and comment something you've seen. Yeah. That'd be amazing. Have a great day. See ya.
See ya.